Baldur's Gate 3 is an incredible game. I've been playing it non-stop since it came out, but if you're a loot goblin like me and you're picking up everything you find, your inventory is really going to get overwhelming quite fast, and you might find that you're spending a long time just trying to sort through it. So here are some top inventory management tips so your inventory can go from this to this, where everything's neatly laid out in categorized bags and the stuff you don't need is on other characters or in your camp. Okay, so the first big tip here for really getting on top of your inventory is bags. So when you first start playing, you're going to have some bags in your inventory. You're going to have an alchemy pouch, you're going to have a camp supply sack, and all of the stuff you get for those things will automatically go in there. So all of the herbs will sit in there, and then everything else just kind of clogs up your inventory on its own. But what you can do is all these little bags that you find, these little pouches, the burlap sacks, the backpacks, you go over and you loot them, and there might be like one small item or like 2 gold, things like that. And then you just move on. But what you can do is you can pick them up. You can manually right click and pick them up. And all of these little bags and all of these little sacks will then go in your inventory. And then what you can do is you can take these bags and you can sort your inventory by say type, and then all the bags will go to the top. And they don't weigh much. Like the pouches are like 0.2, the sacks are 0.2, and the backpacks are only 1. So it's not a great deal if you've got, say a melee who's got 200 carry weight. And then what you can do is you can open these things up. So say a burlap sack, you can open it up, and then you can store things of a certain type in them. So say you have lots of arrows, you can just put all your arrows in here. So there's like all the arrows in one bag. And then the thing is, when you actually come to do an archery attack, so when you go to do a ranged attack, you can still have all your arrows here. So it's not like you need them loosely in your bag. They're all still there as an option. A big one is you might want to carry these different books on you for different reasons. But if you do, you can just put them in a bag. Okay, and then finally, I'll have a pack for quest items. So things that I just want to hold on to. So, seem fairly important, things like that. And then that's it. All the important stuff is stored in bags. So you've got your alchemy pouch, you've got a few sacks of different things that you have on you if you need, and they don't take up like 20 slots in your inventory. Okay, the next big thing to know is when sorting out your inventory is send to wares. So you're going to pick up a lot of trash if you're, a hoarder and you're just trying to make money. And when you find something, you can pick it up, or you can pick it up and add it to wares. Something that's a ware will instantly sell as soon as you go to a vendor. So you go to a vendor, there's a big button, sell all wares. And then the initial trade window you go to is the barter window. So it can be quite confusing because you go, oh, well, I don't really get it. You've got all this stuff. And you move it over and it's not really clear what happens. But what you do is you flick from barter to trade, and this button appears, and then you just press sell wares, and you can see here, I've probably got too much money than what they've got, but if they had the gold, it would all just transfer over. Let me just buy something to give the gold if I buy the fear spell. Now I've got 600 gold. So if I go sell wares, there you go. Everything just goes over, and you make about 500 gold, with a click of a button. You can also control click, so say there's a few others that you've missed. This thing here, this shield, these boots. You can then add all those to wares at the same time. What you can do is you can just shift click, and this adds all of those together. You can just send them to camp if you wanted to store them in your camp for selling later, or you can just put them on like a mule. So I literally have my melee character just hold all of these. Then when we get back to town, they'll just sell them all. So melee characters have the biggest carry weight, so I send them to Karlach, just like that. And now they're just full of wares. She's just hoarding money ready to get back to town. And because they're a strength character, they can carry a lot more than my other characters. Okay, so then once you've sent all the stuff to wares, you've done all that, you've still got a lot of stuff in your inventory. So what do you do next? I'm 102 over my carry weight. So here's some other things you can do. You can send directly to camp. So one easy one here is if you go in your camp supply pack, you'll have food. And what you can do is you can just highlight all that food and send that straight to camp. That's an easy dump of weight. You can do it with your alchemy as well, but I'm about to use mine. But yeah, you can dump all of your camp supplies, pile it up, collect all the sausages and the cabbages and all that stuff, and then just send it all to camp, because that's where you use it anyway. The next items you can try and manage is the scrolls. I always send these to my mage, so I send them to Gale. So if you just send all of your scrolls to Gale, I mean, you can do this as well. Send to Gale. That gets rid of them out of your main character's inventory. If you go over to your mage, you see mine's holding on a lot of scrolls right now. You can press K, you can open your spell book, and you can just learn those scrolls permanently as spells. The Gale's subclass on my playthrough is a evocation. So any evocation spells are cheaper, but you can still use all the others. So for example, he doesn't have Melth's Acid Arrow. I can just learn that for 50 gold. And that uses the scroll now as a permanent spell. There you go. Now he can use it whenever he wants. So that's a really good way to use up your scrolls. So yeah, this is the finished result. This is what it should look like when you're done, when you've sorted everything out. And I think it's so much nicer. All I'm left with now is a bunch of bags which you can open at any time. You can put them on your hotbar to open them in combat. And you can see how much they weigh and how you need to deal with them. I can see right now that I've got way too many potions. I've got like 15.1 weight of potions. So I've also got a lot of alchemy stuff. I'm about to do a bunch of alchemy. So I'm about to make more potions. So then I'm going to decide who gets what and then what's going to get sold and stuff like that. But you can see everything so much simpler. You can see what items you want to wear, what items you want to sell, what's going to go to your companions. And also you might want to keep multiple of different things. So I'm holding on to certain things that have got cantrips on them and switching them out when I need them. So like this, I've got currently the Speak with the Dead amulet on, and then I've replaced that with, say, Misty Step if I want to reach a different location. So yeah, it's cool to have them really trimmed down. I've got all my books and stuff that I think I might need for quests or that I'm just too scared to get rid of because I don't know why. I've got certain items that have been used in different quests or that I'm saving for a quest, the shovel, things like that in its own box, so I don't have them on me. And yeah, everything just feels really, really trimmed. And then of course you've got a character just full of loot, just ready to be sold. But yeah, that's inventory management. I think it feels a lot cleaner this way. If this has helped you out and you're gonna try it, let me know in the comments. If you have any other tips or if there's something you do differently, maybe you like drag barrels back to the camp to use later, or you have some other like tips for making things faster or how to sort things easier, then yeah, let other people know in the comments. We want to spend less time fiddling around on our inventory and more time out there having fun. So yeah, this is a big game, lots of adventuring to do, so I really hope this helped. And if you've stuck around to the end, subscribing to the channel helps me out a ton, so click that button if you're not subscribed already. Take care everyone, and I'll catch you in the next one.